Hi guys, you're welcome. My name is Olayemi, and today on this channel we are going to talk about African traditions that are unnecessary. So you let me know what African traditions are unnecessary, are uncalled for, and every other word that can qualify how you feel about some traditions in Africa, most especially in Nigeria if you are a Nigerian. So please let me know your mind in the comment section down below. So guys, it's a rainy Friday afternoon here in Lagos, and I hope the rain has not caused much disturbances wherever you are watching from. Well, today, as I've said, we are going to talk about African traditions that are unnecessary. So I will be speaking basically from a Nigerian point of view. And being a Yoruba person, I will be talking more about the Yoruba traditions and possibly beyond, and why some or most of those traditions are unnecessary. This is a disclaimer, however. You see, everyone is entitled to their different opinions and ideas about their different traditions. At the same time, we are not setting standards on what traditions to accept or not to accept. We are not condemning any tradition, neither are we promoting a particular tradition. What we share here on this platform about tradition is basically people's different opinions and perspectives on life. So I hope you're safe. So guys, let's ride on. So if you live in Nigeria, or you are a Nigerian, then you would probably be familiar with what I'm about to say. You know, there is this kind of paparazzi that happens in most funerals in Nigeria, like lavish meals, street dancing, very big street dancing, and on all every sorts of unnecessary things. In fact, a report said that Nigerian funerals are so important that families save up for their loved ones' burial instead of medical expenses. I mean, can you imagine that? So you would begin to hear things like buying very fine new clothes, very fine new clothes for the deceased. I mean, fine new clothes for the deceased, even though the dead person has clothes he or she did not wear till he or she died. But they will buy new clothes, new sets of clothes, very expensive ones for this. I mean, to me, I don't see any reason for that. And another thing is, they will buy a very expensive coffin, extremely expensive coffin. I mean, nobody is not nobody is saying you shouldn't respect your dead loved ones, but you know well, some things are not just necessary. That's for me. Yeah, for me. Some persons would actually have to rebuild or renovate the house of the deceased. And all of those, all sorts of things that are uncalled for. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, those things are not needed for a burial to take place. you know. Well, now, if actually you have the money and you do all of this, I won't have an issue with you. I won't at all. But most times, people who do all of these things, people who do all of these expenses, who take on all of these expenses, they are broke. I mean, they are broke people. So that is why you will hear of some persons, going to borrow money from financial institutions and corporations just to do burial. I mean, just for a funeral. Then you are borrowing money from banks and all. Those things are not. That is totally unnecessary. One painful thing is you can never convince these people to think otherwise, because they will always come up with that is the tradition kind of excuse, and they would have even drawn a conclusion within them, thinking, man, I just have to do this. You don't have to do that, my guy. You don't have to do that at all. You see, some of them end up making these plans at the expense of their friends and relatives, people who actually might not be totally cool with the idea in the first place, but then they will compromise to the idea, all in the name of wanting to keep their friendships and relationships intact. Well, it's okay, no problem. Just like I said earlier, if you have the money all that paparazzi requires, then I'm cool with you. I'm totally cool with you. You know, for example, you definitely would have heard about the biggest burial ceremony in Nigeria by now. If you haven't, just type type the name Obi Kubana on YouTube, then you see lots of videos about this guy's mother's burial. I'm sure that name rings a bell already. Obi Kubana. That guy is rich, man. You see, this young man was able to pull what he pulled off because he had the money. I mean, he had, that man has money. So he had what it took to make such very big funeral happen. So instead of criticizing him, people were cheering him. In fact, some of his friends donated large funds to him. you know so this guy, his mother's burial was not hanging on the generosities of his friends. He would have actually even done the same thing even without the support of his friends, because this man in question is capable on his own without external help. This man is made, he has money. He has money, you see. So instead of people criticizing him about the lavish spending and all, they cheered him instead because they know he has the money. But if you are I can't laugh. If you are planning these kinds of expenses, like if you are planning this kind of big expenses on other people's pockets, then I'm sorry for you. I'm very sorry for you, because if you plan such with me, you are going to be disappointed definitely. For the love of Mike, I don't think you should go in debt because of a burial. For crying out loud, you are broke. I mean, you are broke. Why should in fact, who should be very modest in doing things if not you? I mean, you are broke, so you should be modest in the things you do. You should calculate your expenses well and be sure you are not going over your expenses. Even the whites, the oyinbo, the whites who are living 1,000 years ahead of us, financially and economically speaking. These people, they hardly do extravagant funerals. But the mindset, like these people, they don't do extravagant funerals like we do, yet we are poorer than they are. So it is not about having the money, but the mindsets and the unnecessary traditions. So unless I am having it all wrong, maybe the whites do their funerals more extravagantly than we do our own here. But so far in my search, I've not seen many extravagant funerals that the whites do. Aha. They mostly keep it simple and meaningful, no unnecessary drama. I mean, and these people are rich. In fact, they are living 1,000 years ahead of us financially and economically. So they are much more richer than we are. So yet they do their things simple and straightforward, no drama. Well, better still, I think, to get a clear fact on this, maybe we should ask our American friends, we should ask them about the procedures of a burial ceremony in their countries, or if at all there is anything called a burial ceremony to even begin with. I mean, burial ceremony. Now, only for Nigeria, I don't hear that one. Burial ceremony. Well, let's see. Possibly, maybe uh, we are going to get our point of view changed. Maybe when when an American comes and tell us differently about the whole thing. Yeah. But one thing is certain. Just those people are not like we Africans, always wanting to flaunt our little wealth. The same thing applies to wedding ceremonies and every other ceremonies there are. But we are going to talk about wedding ceremonies in our next video. Let me know, just in case, let me know other annoying African American cultures and traditions that you don't see any reason for in the comment section. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell button to get notified of our new videos. Until I'm gonna see y'all later, guys. Peace out.